All right, how's everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of Here's the Day Football Talk. I'm joined with Ricky.
Hi.
Uh,
Hi.
we haven't eaten Tide Pods yet, so we haven't
Don't
died.
worry. That's the Super Bowl.
The Tide.
Did you see my video? Did you see my video? America, Super Bowl 52, America's Tide Pod Challenge. Please go check it out.
Exactly. And also check out Josh and DJ's
Friday Night Pre.
Roundup. It was weird because I wasn't able to watch it on my phone. It just kept cutting out on me. So
Same.
It was really, I think it's the area that they recorded in. It's really weird, but
it's like Facebook, YouTube have been acting up weirdly. Like,
maybe
I don't even know.
Because DJ was wearing pajama bottoms.
Probably. Well, I'm wearing pajama bottoms as well, so.
Which I thought only I did, plus like 14-year-old girls.
Yeah, well, I do it too, so I'm doing it right now.
So, Ricky, what are we talking about in this episode?
So today we are going to be just talking about the upcoming Super Bowl, our thoughts, early thoughts, I should say. Then we're going to talk about some Eagles fans. Then we're going to talk about and then we're going to talk about the XFL returning. What does it stand a chance? Stuff like that. That should go on for a while, and then we'll end on the Pro Bowl. Is it pointless, as well as the Senior Bowl is a pointless, and yeah.
All right, so the Super Bowl happens. Super Bowl 52 is a rematch of Super Bowl 39, except the Patriots are the home team and the Eagles are the away team. In that case, the Eagles were the home team and the Patriots were the away team. Kind of makes me nervous because no bird team has ever won with their home wearing their home colors.
Oh my gosh, the superstition. But let me put it to you this way. I did a video on this, and I hate to keep doing shameless plugs, but like it explains my thought process of what I think is going to happen in Super Bowl 52. I said this is what's going to happen. Eagles are going to strike first. They're going to score. They're going to go into halftime with the lead. Patriots come back and win. That's what I think is going to happen. And I don't mean to say that as a Cowboys fan or insult. It's just that's what the Patriots tend to do. Like if you look, they've never scored in the first quarter of a Super Bowl.
I will do
the
Tide Pod challenge if that happens.
Yeah, exactly. We'll all do it together.
My mom. It was funny because my mom called me and she was like, "Can I watch the Super Bowl with you?" I was like, first of all, we're going to like a crowded ass bar. You won't have very much fun, and if the Eagles lose, you won't like the way I'm acting. So, no.
But anywho,
go ahead. And that like everybody, I know Ricky probably doesn't know this because you haven't really experienced it, but losing a Super Bowl is worse than going 0-16. Okay, it is like the lowest of low feeling for me as a football fan was the Eagles losing the Super Bowl
because you were so close.
Yeah, we were so close. But even if we weren't close, losing the Super Bowl is the worst feeling in sports. Worse than any other sport because of how difficult it is to make it there. It's gut-wrenching and it feels horrible. It took the Eagles 24 years to make it back there, and then when it was all over, the Eagles absolutely fell apart and never were able to pick the people.
Normally, this is what happens. If you win a Super Bowl, it opens up so many opportunities. Look at Seattle. Once they won the Super Bowl, they ended up becoming a pretty dominant team for several years. I know it's the end.
Even before they won this, they were a dominant team, though.
Yeah, but the point is normally winning a Super Bowl takes that monkey off your back, and you already know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like with the Patriots, for example, when they won that first one, of course, granted, it's like a confidence thing. It's like, well, we won the Super Bowl, so that, and then also if you lose the Super Bowl, it's probably depending on how you lose it too. Sometimes, especially
if you lose it in blowout fashion, then like I'm sure it's not as crushing as if you like lose it by like a missed field goal or a team coming back on you. Which I will say right now, that Super Bowl that the Patriots won against the Falcons last year was the best Super Bowl ever played. Bar none.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
The Super Bowl, the last year's Super Bowl, the Patriots came
The
back.
Patriots played fantastic. Like, you can't.
That was the best Super Bowl ever played because I remember, and I blame myself for this, but I have a buddy who's a Falcons fan. And by the way, when I'm watching the Super Bowl, all my notifications, all my text messages, all that's going to be turned off. Because at halftime, when the Falcons were winning like 21-3 or something like that, I texted and I said, "Congratulations," knowing full well that no team had ever come back from a Super Bowl down more than 10.
Well, so the Patriots did.
No, I thought this was in the buck. Even the Patriots haven't come back down by 10.
This game. The Super Bowl 49, they were down 10 in Seattle.
That's true, but I thought this game was in the bucket. Dude.
Well, yeah, but I get your point. Sorry, just want to
knowing that, and no lead is safe. No lead is safe at all, especially for Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and the Patriots. The thing is, the Patriots are a beatable team. The Patriots are.
Oh, they're
beatable team.
It's just people they overcomplicate themselves in the thing is people, and my uncle who's a Patriots fan, he brings this up as a very eloquent point. He says, we don't beat teams in the Super Bowl. Teams beat themselves and we happen to win.
Exactly. And you look at the 2 Super Bowls they've lost, the ones against the Giants. The Giants didn't have a prolific offense in those years. And they didn't necessarily have a prolific defense either. If you remember, the Giants defense was very middle of the line, very middle of the line defense. It's just the thing was the Giants, I think the Giants only turned the ball over once in both of those Super Bowls, and their defense allowed less than 20 points both times, which is unprecedented for New England because New England scores so many points. Because they're able to get these teams out of their game plan. And when you look at, you look at their offense, you're looking at an offense that has running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield, and Dion Lewis and White, which creates huge matchup problems for linebackers because they can also line up wide and play as wide receivers. You have Gronk, who is just a large meathead and a caveman himself. 6'4", 260, 70 pounds. He's a matchup problem for safeties because you can't tackle him, and he's a matchup problem for linebackers because he's faster than them. And then you have Tom Brady himself, who you can't play zone defense against him because he'll just pick you apart. You can't play man defense against him because the Patriots run so many pick plays. So
yeah. Let me put it to you this way. And I say this in a serious note. Do not expect a blowout. Okay, people want to be like, well, we're still the underdog, so that means we're gonna win. No. People don't understand this. The thing is that I believe last season weren't the Falcons an underdog against the Pats, right? When I don't remember.
Probably. I don't remember.
But here's I could look it up real quick. Hold on.
Again,
I know it means nothing, but you get the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they were also. I don't know if they were favorites against the Seahawks. I don't know.
Patriots by 3. That was the margin.
Okay. What about the Seahawks?
In 49. It was a pick'em. It was an even matchup.
Okay. Either way, the line doesn't matter to me that much because the line has been it's been irrelevant, really.
Yeah, honestly, it's whatever. But let me put it to you this way, okay? A lot of people will be asking, what does it okay, I'm not writing off the Eagles as much as I joke around. In all seriousness, I am aware that the Eagles are not this trash team. People make it seem like I'm being legit, like it's all satire. But on a serious note, do the Eagles have a chance? Yeah, if Nick Foles is the key for the Eagles was just Nick Foles playing lights out and not turning the ball over, which he hasn't in the postseason. He hasn't turned the ball over. That's what's key. If he turns the ball over,
we're done.
it leads. Well, it has to lead the points. If he turns the ball over, but it doesn't lead the points, you guys are okay. But if it does lead the points, then that's an issue.
Thing is, because I watched Super Bowl 39, and it was really tough to watch that Super Bowl because I remember watching that game, and one thing I did forget, I knew that one time the Eagles turned the ball over in the red zone, but I forgot that they had turned the ball over 3 times in the first half, twice on the Patriots side of the field, once in the red zone. And the Eagles lose by 3 points. They could have scored an extra field goal there if they hadn't turned the ball over. And I just completely forgot about that. And then the Patriots didn't score until like the 2-minute warning. So it's the way it is. Turnovers are a big part of a reason why a team can lose. And I totally forgot about all those turnovers.
Super Bowl 39 was a huge example of this because of McNabb's 3 interceptions, but it wasn't that he threw 3 interceptions. It's where he threw them. They were all in Patriots territory.
No, they weren't. One was.
One was, okay. But I do remember, but it was kind of key. Like the one, I believe, keep in mind, I was really young, so I don't remember the whole thing. But from what I remember, the one that he threw in Patriots territory, I mean, weren't the Eagles up like 7?
No, so, it was the first quarter.
Okay, I don't remember the game by heart.
For a touchdown until like a little bit after that.
Okay, but still, the point is don't turn the ball over and run the ball.
That was the first Super Bowl that was 0-0 after the first quarter, ever.
Oh, wow!
There always were points in the first quarter in every Super Bowl that have been played before that.
Okay. So again, the point still stands though that the Eagles, they need to run the ball.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Like you cannot. Here's the thing: what the Patriots are going to try and make Nick Foles beat him, which he can. But the thing is that Nick Foles has to be careful as well. Like what I get worried about is I would rather win a close game and a championship game than winning a blowout, because I understand it's that confidence that makes you stroll into the Super Bowl. But sometimes, like for example, look at what happened with the Vikings, an emotional victory, but that ends up, resulting in that, that performance probably. And yeah.
I don't. Me personally, it doesn't matter. I've seen teams go into Super Bowls. Like remember the Patriots played the Colts in Super Bowl, or right before Super Bowl 49, and the Patriots beat them like 52-7.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Super Bowl, and then the Seahawks, they had to come back with an emotional comeback against the.
Yeah, but the point still stands is like that can affect him, but I'm not saying it is 100% going to.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, yeah.
The way I see it is, don't turn the ball over, run the football, because we all know that the Patriots won't be running. I don't think the Patriots are even going to try that.
No, they're going to put the ball in Brady's hands a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, Brady is the type of quarterback that the Eagles would struggle against. He's much like an Aaron Rodgers, who Aaron Rodgers would do the same. Aaron Rodgers has picked the Eagles apart before as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be surprised if this is a lot of short passes, quick getting the ball out of his hands, which is why the Eagles must, hit the receivers at the line of scrimmage. They have to take down the line. So,
yeah,
playing 10 yards, consistently playing 8 yards off every time. They
have to play man. The Eagles have to play man, because if they play zone/prevent, oh my Lord, Brady's going to tear that apart. And I'm not saying that as non-objective. We saw that happen last year.
Case Keenum was doing that in the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, but this is also what's key, is that the Eagles cannot let their defense stay on the field for so long, because playing man is tiring, especially if your defense is on the field for so long.
Uh-huh.
So
down, it's okay to play zone if it's like 3rd and 12, as long as.
Well, obviously you want to do that. I mean, you don't want to play man-to-man on every single play, but the point still stands as you want to focus on that.
Yeah. Let's talk about Eagles fans.
Okay, so let's talk about the inmates from Philadelphia. No, but on a very serious note, I'm aware that not all Eagles fans are like this because this whole mantra of like, well, it's common sense. I'm aware, not like I understand that every fan base has bad eggs. But what makes it interesting is that with the Eagles, they have a ton of bad eggs. A ton.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses for Eagles fans, even though
I'm not holding you accountable. Like
other people have. They're your fans. The thing is, the Eagles fans are known have been known to do bad things and to be awful people. And I definitely don't condone like throwing beer cans at people, but at the same time, to say that to use that as an example and say like that's why Eagles fans are classless, it's like show me a video of like 20,000 people throwing a beer can at people. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of it seems like, oh, we got it on social media, so therefore, it's every single Eagles fan. When, somebody got on social media at the Vikings Saints game afterwards, a Vikings fans beating up a 13-year-old Saints fan. So, like, at the same time, I'm not going to make any excuses. Throwing beer cans at people is absolutely unacceptable. It should never happen. It's completely awful to write signs that say "fuck Millie," the 99-year-old Vikings fan. You didn't see a lot of this with, or like any of it with Atlanta fans, mostly because I really feel like especially with like a lot of like the FUs and like a lot of the like you suck and the middle fingers that a lot of people got on camera, like
that's
a lot of that, like you'll get that at like 80% of like.
That's different though. Like I understand that. Like it's not like
I also don't condone like impeding the progress of the Vikings team bus or treating people with disrespect and climbing up the poles lathered with Crisco saying "fuck that grease." I don't condone any of that, but at the same time, Vikings fans were warned by their media like not to show up. And at the same time, Vikings fans were like, we're gonna invade Philadelphia, and acting like they already had their Super Bowl spot all wrapped up. It's like when you're coming into a storm like that, it's unfortunate, but you should expect a lot of people to be really pissed off at you.
Here's my thing, right? I understand. I got family members that are Eagles fans that are nice. Like they're not bad people. The problem I have is that when and this is why I'll never go to a football game in Philadelphia ever again unless I'm with a group of people, a huge group of people, because I cannot understand how I don't want to say scummy because forget it. That fan base that I had to deal with, and I'm talking about, and you might be saying, not necessarily you, but some other Eagles fans be like, oh, no, Eagles fans are like that. Look, let me put it to you this way. The Eagles fans have a long, long list of things that they've done, and they just added on to it, throwing beer cans at people. And keep in mind, that wasn't just adults, too. They were probably throwing them at kids as well. And it's just, that's why I'm rooting for New England to win. Because I don't want the Eagles to have that one ring. And sorry, Hank, with all due respect, it's just...
I'll tell you something. If the Eagles lose, I'm blaming them. And
no, I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm gonna go live and be like, it's karma for all you fans that don't want to even have a sense of class.
And EDP.
And EDP, yeah, we're blaming EDP. Because you do know he's going to the Super Bowl, right?
We're gonna lose. So, yeah, I mean... The Eagles fans would deserve it if they did lose. So, no, I've not seen Mark Holmes trolling Eagles fans.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cringe.
Was that the Barstool one?
No. He made a rap video making fun of Eagles fans, just trolling him because the Eagles fans have been trolling him nonstop, and I just hope karma bites him. But anywho,
at the same time, like there are Vikings fans who are going to drive Eagles like Uber drivers who are going to drive Eagles fans to the wrong place, which I think that's kind of funny.
Well, it's karma. It's like people like it's too funny when all the Eagles fans are like, "But what did we do?" It's like, well, gee, it's not like you threw beer cans. I mean, at least yeah, like I know it's a bit messed up.
Yeah, but
I don't condone it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning what they're doing. But
like, how many Eagles fans were throwing beer cans?
Probably on that video, there was probably a decent chunk. I don't remember what it was.
Because I'll tell you something. I went to an Arizona Cardinals game for the NFC Championship game, and like somebody took my hat and threw it like after the Eagles lost and threw it into traffic, and I had to like dodge cars in order to get it. That's not that doesn't have any much. I'm glad to be alive. But if you lose, I am blaming those people and EDP.
Yeah, I blame EDP. Oh my god, EDP will probably die in Minnesota. He'll probably jump off US Bank Stadium. No, I'm kidding. I want to talk about the XFL. Let's move on. So, the XFL is making a return, but not immediately. It's coming back in 2020, so in 2 years it will return. It appears that it will be launching immediately or close to after the NFL season is over, similar to how it worked previously. Now, what is different about this XFL is this XFL, I would say, is more PG. They're looking for a more family-friendly environment. If we haven't heard that enough. Basically, Vince McMahon is not trying to rush this back into fruition, but he's going to take his time. It is the same format like last time, 8 teams, 2 divisions, a 4-team semifinal, and then a championship game. So they're going to start off pretty conservative like they did last time. Now, I think the more important question is, and I think a lot of people have been asking this question, can the XFL rival or somehow compete with the NFL? And I would argue no.
No, absolutely not. Teams have set up like the arena, for instance, the Arena League tried so hard, and they have like a smaller field and they have less players and it's higher scoring to try to make it exciting. But I mean, the Arena League has
4 teams. It just has 4 teams.
4 teams, but it's disbanded a few times. They don't have enough money. I don't think that they're going to get as many sponsorships. But I think at the end of it, like, I never watched the XFL. Maybe it's because I wasn't old enough to watch the XFL.
I watched it. I rewatched it, like some of the videos.
I really you even look at the league, and that. I mean, maybe it's because Vince McMahon is such a wealthy dude, and he's got a lot of connections, and he's coming out and he's like, there will be no convicted felons, and
that's gonna go away.
You look at that and you're like, well, you can say goodbye to like a lot of the players that you could get. I mean, if they had convicted felons in the XFL, imagine how much better their league would be.
Let me put it to you this way. That rule will be gone before it starts. Trust me.
Yeah.
But getting back to like the whole idea of the XFL, I think it's going to flop again, but it's not going to flop immediately, because here's why. And I'm not trying to get political here, but just hear me out. The reason why it's too funny because the XFL is trying to cater to the people to be like, oh, we need people to stand for the national anthem, and people are disrespecting the flag, and boycott this, boycott that. The only reason it's going to come and do successful for the first part, okay, this is what's going to happen. The debut is definitely going to be, it's huge because it's coming back and everyone knows, like, oh wow, because we've already heard about this.
It's going to be like the Rams going back to LA.
Exactly. And then after that, it's going to tank.
Yeah, you could say that the people who, like, those people who are like, I'm boycotting the NFL because they don't support our troops. Like, those are probably the most annoying people
I know.
on the internet. Like, they'll go to like the NFL page or ESPN page or like Yahoo page, and it'll be something talking about like, I don't know, like something generic like Rob Gronkowski gives a guy a concussion. And they'll be like, I am boycotting. I don't know what about you guys, but I'm boycotting the NFL until they stand for the national anthem.
No, but like, let me put it to you this way.
Probably like a 15-year-old kid like in their basement.
And this is just too funny because people are trying to, and I know people are gonna be like, I sound like a hypocrite for me bringing up politics, but people are being like, oh, it's like, you know, the left are furious at the return of the XFL because they want people to say, no. You need to understand something. It's not that. It's the nature of the fact that could possibly kill the XFL. You know what I mean? Like, and not only that,
they think they're gonna get fans from
Alabama.
NFL fans.
Yeah, they're gonna get fans from.
It's like, I just don't care.
Yeah, I personally don't care because I feel like, look,
if I'm the NFL, I don't lose any sleep on this. I sit there with my popcorn and just wait for.
This is what I would be worried about, though. If the XFL wants to succeed, like they said, it's going to be a completely off-brand. It has nothing to do with WWE, okay? But what I will tell you is this. If the XFL wants to be successful, it cannot rely on a single network like it did when it did NBC, and I think it was on WWE as well. It has to be on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
And I heard that's what they're trying to do, and I think that that's key because if they do that, then they have somewhat of a shot to at least stay around. But the question is also, well, we don't know, and it's in 2 years, so we don't know if the NFL's ratings will drop or they'll just come back up, because you got to keep in mind that in 2 years, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for all we know, the XFL could possibly be a successful league, or it could just completely flop. But I do think the NFL needs to have a developmental league. I think that would be a pretty great program to establish to help, football players develop. So for example, like, you know how, and I know this is I know it's a different sport, but different sports, but baseball, like a farm system kind of. Mm-hmm. Like, you have the minor league teams. You don't have to have multiple teams. You can just have one. Like in basketball, like you have
and that would have to be affiliated with the NFL.
No. I'm not talking about the XFL. No. I'm talking about an independent NFL run developmental league, not using the XFL.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. No, but like that's what I'm trying to get at is that they
before and it failed. The UFL had like four teams, and it like, I remember Jay Gruden won a UFL championship with like the Florida Panthers or something like that back in like 2010.
It's whatever.
Yeah, like that went under. NFL Europe went under. It all went under, and it wasn't even competing at the same time. I think what they're gonna have to try to find out how to do. They're going to have to find maybe even like a summer league or something like that, or something, but it just has never worked in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has in other sports.
Exactly. I mean, it's just insane.
How are you going to find fans to go to the games? How are you?
That is key. That is key, because you can get, like, for example, like you can debut something, but the key is hooking people onto it. Now, the XFL, I'm not going to lie, they do have a chance, but it's a very slim chance. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be on the same level as the NFL. They definitely will never reach that. But I will tell you this. Do not be surprised if the XFL has the XFL, like I said, it's going to last a longer time than it did originally. It's probably going to last like 2 or 3 years, and then it's going to flop.
the way I see it, they're gonna have like the XFL is gonna have to go to places that the NFL isn't.
Exactly.
Like maybe you could have a team in LA, but LA doesn't really have a track record of keeping teams. Maybe you'll have a team somewhere in like Arkansas or Alabama. Maybe you'll have a team in like Nebraska.
That's also key, is where they're marketing their teams. Because if the team, for example, like what if they put a team in San Antonio?
Exactly.
Like that's also key. The XFL can succeed if they put teams in great like for example, like San Antonio or Austin, like someplace in Texas. They're big on football. Probably Columbus, another good city, like big city market.
Omaha,
Nebraska.
Omaha.
Portland.
Yeah.
Alabama, Birmingham.
They could have done Vegas, but I mean the Raiders are moving to Vegas, so
no, they're not. No, they're not going to go to Vegas.
They probably could have.
They could have. They should not do LA. They should not do LA.
They should not do.
If they do that, that's stupid.
Not do New York. They should not do.
What about San Jose? Or not in that area.
No.
Okay.
They had the SaberCats here, and they've gone debunked twice already. So. No,
but like, here's my thing: if I'm the XFL, and I know now we're talking about hypotheticals for how this league could succeed, which in all honesty, it has the opportunity to. You need to market to like I said, San Antonio, Portland, Alabama, Birmingham, Omaha.
You hear what I said?
Shut up. No.
You have to market it to rednecks.
Exactly, pretty much. So. Like, but what's key here is you want to look at, like, for example, like, Alabama's huge on football.
Yeah.
So that would be a perfect place to put it.
Alabama, Arkansas, West Virginia.
Yeah, like, put it in. I understand that those are small markets relatively in terms of, like.
But you could build it.
But you could build it. Yeah, exactly. That's what the XFL needs to do, is because why it failed the last time was because they were in big markets.
Yeah, and
competing with the NFL, and it didn't work out. Like, they can go to New Jersey. I would recommend they put a team like.
I wouldn't go to New Jersey.
No one wants to go to New Jersey.
I wouldn't put a team in New Jersey because.
What if it succeeds, and then would you start expanding there?
Yeah, but it would last for. I don't think it would last there very long. I mean,
okay.
You look at a lot of the minor league baseball teams that are there. They're like a lot of them are mostly like debunked.
Yeah, exactly. But anywho, yeah, that's our thoughts on the XFL and how we think it could succeed, even though we don't think it is.
Personally, like, I just don't really care about it that much. I mean, if Vince McMahon wants his little football league, and if. So that people can stand for the national anthem. I mean, you can have that. I mean, I probably won't watch it, but I mean, I'm sure a lot of great American patriots will enjoy it a lot.
Ripperino. Now, anywho, so let's talk about the Pro Bowl and Senior Bowl and our thoughts on why it's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. The Pro Bowl is. I'll let you begin.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I like the idea of honoring players that have done well. That I don't have an issue with. Okay? Well, some parts of the selection process I have an issue with. The thing that I enjoy, I enjoy the challenges, but the problem is the game itself, I think, is obsolete at this point. You don't need it.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I mean, you see the practices that they have like all over like social media, like the NFL has it, and all that stuff, and the NFL.com page has it, and you watch it and you're like, wow, like if you want to see absolutely minimum effort at a practice, just go watch that. It's basically like guys in t-shirts and hats, like like cleats and shorts, like throwing around the football and like laughing with each other. It's like,
yeah, but it's a fun thing. Like, don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I mean,
fun, but it's like when it comes to like the whole competition thing. I mean, there are so many things you can't do in the Pro Bowl. You can't blitz in the Pro Bowl. You know, they're like the running game is not. I mean, running backs. It's basically like quarterbacks throwing and receivers catching. You know, sometimes players won't put as much effort in because they don't want to get injured. Sometimes players don't even show up because then. I mean, if Tom Brady doesn't go to the Super Bowl, he's not. And he's elected to the Pro Bowl. He won't show up.
Like here. Okay, let me put it to you this way. Do you think, and I'm not talking about the game itself, do you think the Pro Bowl, like, let me put it to you this way. I personally think that the Pro Bowl should, it needs to revamp its selection process, in my opinion, because it's kind of weird in some situations, certain people getting it and I'm not saying that because some people on my team didn't get it. It's because the issue I have is with alternates. You know what I mean? Like, do I think Jason Witten deserved another Pro Bowl? Well, statistically, no. But, like, because he's Jason Witten, he got it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, that's the issue. It's the Pro Bowl is, in essence, a popularity contest.
Oh, yeah. It's always been like that.
That's why I value all pro teams more.
Yeah. Honestly, it should just be like...
Third. What do you do first, second, third? Would you do first, second, third all pro team? Instead of...
Maybe, but what I'm saying is they should just have the team on like Madden and like 2 Hall of Fame, like the starting quarterbacks of both teams play each other in Madden to see who wins.
Yeah, exactly. That would be more entertaining.
It's like, but like in this case, it's just like there's such a lack of effort. Our players are excited to show up, but like if you're like Tom Brady is obviously a really big draw, and if his team doesn't go to the Super Bowl, he doesn't even show up. And if it goes to the Super Bowl, he doesn't show up either. So, like, I think that's like the real issue. Like now they have the game like before or like after, or they used to have the game after the Super Bowl, so that like those players would show up. But now they have the game before the Super Bowl during like media week, so it's like it's just like, oh, they entertained until the Super Bowl, but like the Pro Bowl is not. It's not really that because the effort is so low.
Yeah, I think that and I tell people this all the time, like, you really want to know who actually deserves honors, look at the All-Pro team. And I know that sometimes has selection issues as well, but let me put it to you this way. The All-Pro team, whether in first and second team, those are the actual ones that deserve it. You know what I mean? And sometimes that has its issues as well, but the problem with a Pro Bowl selection is that like a Pro Bowl selection is kind of gimmicky. Because, like, for example, like, look at Derek Carr. Derek Carr didn't deserve a Pro Bowl nod, personally, and I could say the same. But, like, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to him. It's just, like, if you look at him, there are some other quarterbacks probably in the AFC. Well, I don't know. But there are probably some players that probably would have done a much better fit for him. It's alternate. Or Jason Witten, for example.
Yeah, I like, it's the fact that the fans, they're like, the fans get like 1/3 of the vote or something like that. Like if you leave it up to the fans, then the fans will never make rational decisions. Because there are people
that vote for office
who sit there all day, vote.
Yeah, and you can vote more than once.
Yeah, you can vote 1,000,000 times if you want to. But like to me, that's not that like the fans should not be allowed to vote. It should be like,
well, that's what the All-Pro team does. Is people don't vote for that, and that's why the All-Pro team I feel like is more authentic.
A committee votes on it.
Yeah, I think that honesty with the Pro Bowl, and I think the Pro Bowl should be reserved just for all. This is how I would fix it. I know it's not the greatest idea. I don't think this is a good idea. Well, it's just an idea. You know, it's to make you think. I think you've replaced the Pro Bowl with, you call it the Pro Bowl, but instead how it works is you have three all pro teams. First, second, and third. Basically, the top 3 players at each position for each conference, okay? And I know that kind of waters it down, but hear me out. So you have, like, all NFC, all AFC, you know what I mean? And you're probably saying, oh, well, that's the Pro Bowl. But what's key here is fans don't vote, and it's the same selection process for the all-pro team.
It's also kind of like a dignified preseason game, because these players, like, if you have a quarterback, you'll have 3 quarterbacks playing, and you won't just have one, because, like, you'll have to switch your quarterback out at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
You want your quarterback playing the whole time. I think what they need to do is they need to have one quarterback play the whole time on both teams.
Or if you don't want to have the game, you can get rid of the game in its entirety. And, like, for example, like, and I don't want to, because the NBA, I love what they do with their All-Star break, is they have multiple challenges for each position or something. Like, you got a slam dunk contest, you got a 3-point contest, you have a young, like a spotlight for rookies and younger players. That's what I think the NFL needs to try and emulate, because, like, do I watch the All-Star game? I don't watch the All-Star game, but I do watch the challenges and the 3-point, that stuff. Why? Because it's exciting.
Yeah.
I
think the NFL should put more emphasis on the skills challenges.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But that's just me.
Well, no, I agree with you. Yeah.
So Senior Bowl.
Oh, Lord.
Senior Bowl is one of the single most overhyped games. Like, it's about as meaningful as the NFL Combine, because I remember back when, like, 2014, when Johnny Manziel was drafted, and I remember
that.
And not only did Johnny Manziel have a really good pro day, he had a good Senior Bowl, but actually no, he didn't go to the Senior Bowl because he wasn't a senior. I don't know. I think you can only go to the Senior Bowl if you're a senior.
Yes, you could only be in the, hence the name, and that's what I think makes it worse, is the fact that I don't mind if you want to do but then that it really should just be a prospect spotlight game then.
Yeah, and the issue is the other issue is the fact that, like, especially when it comes to, like, pro days too, like, you'll have, like, players, like, they were talking about what's his name, Josh Allen of Wyoming, and they were like, oh yeah,
Josh Allen's overrated.
He was so great in the regular season. Everybody wants him. He could be a first-round pick. And then they're like, oh, during the practices for the Senior Bowl, he was awful. And then it was like, oh, look at this amazing pass he had in the Senior Bowl. He's gonna be awesome again. And like, oh, he had a horrible combine, but he had a great pro day. It's like,
I know, it's so annoying.
It's like, you can't measure somebody's NFL talent or someone's potential NFL talent in a game like that, because
I look at like actual games in college. Like, I don't.
They're going up against other college players. They're not going up against professional players. They might be going up against pro talent, but they're not going up against professionals.
Exactly. And I want to just say this real quick, is that Josh Allen is literally Jake Locker 2.0. Okay, come at me, people. No, but in all seriousness, about the Senior Bowl, what's weird is like the Senior Bowl, like, you only get this, and even if you see a player, like, they're only on the field for like not that long, especially a quarterback.
Yeah, especially when you have like 4 quarterbacks on a Senior Bowl or more on a Senior Bowl team.
I just think that the Senior Bowl, like, is pointless. That is more pointless than the Pro Bowl because
yeah,
yeah,
I agree. I think it's more
because like think about it. I guarantee you that there's probably a I guarantee you that there's probably a more talented prospect that's a underclassman compared to the seniors than the seniors themselves.
Yeah.
So like it's just a spotlight for seniors. It's not a spotlight for NFL talent.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, you know, you do get, you know, yes, it's also a way for the NFL to communicate with some of these prospects, which I like. But honestly, you might as well just have a prospect spotlight game. Whether that be all the classes, I don't care. Just make it done.
Yeah, you might as well have something like that, or like NFL or NFL prospect versus like undrafted free agency class.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just because it's, I mean, I guess it's good for ratings, but I never watched the Senior Bowl. I never
watched it. The only time I watched, well, I never really watched it. The only time I actually did watch it was when I watched Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott play.
Yeah, I never watched it. I don't watch the Combine because the Combine is, I'm sorry, people, the Combine is basically pointless.
It's rigged.
Well, no, it's not.
I know. I'm just.
It's just really, really pointless.
No, but yeah, I agree with you. It is arguably one of the more pointless aspects of.
Oh, congratulations! A guy can lift like 400 pounds 20 times. So could Tony Mandarich.
Yeah, and look what happened with him.
Look what happened to Tony Mandarich? He was one of the greatest busts in NFL history. Oh yeah, that quarterback could throw 80 yards down the field. You know who else could do that?
Demarcus Russell.
Marcus Russell. And I also think it's funny, and we'll probably allude to this during like the draft time, because I think I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But what's his name? Who's that one player from Notre Dame that was drafted where Mel Kiper was like, if he isn't a success in the league, then he'd quit. What was his name?
Was it last year?
No, it was 2010.
Oh, was it Clausen?
Yeah, Jimmy Clausen.
Yeah.
He was like Todd.
Yeah.
Not in the NFL, or is a great NFL player by the time
by the way
2018 rolls around, then I will be fired or I'll quit.
I remember that. That was way too funny. And then I will say that for a sneak peek, not a sneak peek, but when we get closer to the draft, I will be unveiling my top 5 prospects for each of the I'm not doing all of them, but like I'm doing the top 5 at each position for everybody. So we can all have one big happy kumbaya.
Honestly, I think either way the Eagles are going to trade out of the first round.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, we did get a 3rd round pick. Thanks, Minnesota.
Yeah, gee.
Minnesota. The funniest thing is that NFC Championship game was
the reason why you got that pick.
It was a win-win situation, because if the Eagles lost, then they get a 3rd round draft. Well, they get to go to the Super Bowl. But if they lost, then they get a 2nd round pick from Minnesota.
That's actually pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, I mean, we're taking Sam Bradford off our hands, I guess.
Thanks.
Because I will say this. As much as people have been giving Nick Foles garbage, I really don't think Sam Bradford would have ever won a playoff game.
To be honest, yes, that was Sam Bradford's first time in the playoffs, and
he didn't even play.
He didn't even play. Snap. Yeah.
I mean, Sam Bradford is like, he'll win you. The great thing about Sam Bradford is he'll win you 7 games,
and then you lose.
And then the next season you'll be like, we'll be amazing, and then he'll just win you 7 more games, or he'll get injured.
Oh, well, he'll go 7-9. He'll do the Jeff Fisher, give you the Jeff Fisher treatment.
The Jeff Fisher Award for mediocre teams.
They should actually make that an award.
They should. The most mediocre team in the NFL.
We would win it every year.
The winner
3 years in a row.
The winner is the 8-8 Dallas Cowboys.
Once again, for the third time in a row. Nah, just playing.
Charm, you know.
All right, what time is it? Okay. Do we got anything else?
Let's if you have a fantasy team for the Pro Bowl, make sure you start Harrison Butker and
He's not even in the. He's not even in there.
and not Nick Folk.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and by the way, do not play the Cleveland Browns defense.
Never play the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess did you hear that? So I guess the Giants aren't drafting a quarterback.
Wait, they are? They're not.
Not.
They're probably going after Saquon.
Also, during his opening press conference, Pat Shurmur's opening press conference, the power went out in the building.
Oh my god!
Likely because his press conference was followed by a performance by Beyonce, so she killed all the power.
Oh my god!
Blackout. They he was like, they were like, "Hello, Pat. This is Pat Shurmur. He's meeting everybody, and this is a dramatization, of course. He says, "Hello, my name is Pat." Hello, Pat Shurmur. Is anyone?
Oh, no. It has to be like, I was gonna say like, someone tells me all the time like, the Cowboys should pick up a Ben McAdoo. I said, yeah, Ben McAdoo would be perfect for the Cowboys as a janitor.
I think Ben McAdoo would be good as an offensive coordinator. It's just he really couldn't keep it together as.
I mean, yeah, but I will say this, I'm not trying to say he's a good coach because I definitely don't think that. What I think is that people need to realize, like, I think that him benching Eli was the somewhat smart decision, but the guy he put in got him fired. That's my thought process. I know some people disagree with me, but it's like, it's whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I think that honestly he had to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, could you imagine? Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's one of those things that they had to do, that you have to do. I mean, in most situations, if your team is performing poorly and your quarterback has led you to one or two wins all season, obviously the course of action is to bench the starting quarterback just to see and as an owner, you should want that to happen as well, just so you can see what you have in guys like because honestly, like, going into the season, the Giants don't have the best offensive line. In my honest opinion, the Giants are idiots for getting rid.
Well, that's something we could all agree on.
Giants are idiots for getting rid of Spags.
Oh, I would loved him to come to the Cowboys.
I have no idea. Like, him and Pat Shurmur worked together with the Rams, and Pat Shurmur was like, "Bye." Like, what? And they're bringing in the defensive coordinator from the
anime trails.
Cardinals, who's a 3-4 defensive coordinator.
Oh, that's gonna kill him.
And they don't have linebackers. They don't have. It's gonna kill everything because, I mean, obviously, just JPP is gonna be gone because JPP doesn't run that system. JPP is, I'm gonna put my hands into the ground and just bull rush the quarterback. He's gone.
Yeah, I got you.
They're gonna rebuild, and it's gonna take a while, but but yeah, I think that's all we're gonna talk about this episode, and
cannot wait till the week before Super Bowl Sunday. A lot to talk about.
Yep, and don't
die.
Don't eat Tide Pods.
Yeah, exactly. Chill. Don't eat Tide Pods. All right.
Don't die.
Yep.
Do not die. If you die, then I will kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Don't die.
All right.
All right, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if you watch the Pro Bowl, well, you wasted your time. No, I'm just kidding. Peace.